Tried to tell you it was going to be a blowout.
And you did, Key, and that was Key. You were spot on because I thought the Giants would show up in that spot now, because they're fighting for New York. Everybody's interested in what's going to happen tonight in that game, too. But let us not digress. Let us get back on point to where we're supposed to be. And I don't want to hear, Skip, all these people out here always talking like, you know, that was only 1 week. That's all we got. We're going to take that information right there and discern it, decipher it, and talk to you about it right now. I told y'all when I sat here, when we talked about this complimentary thing and playing complimentary football, you guys, when we all saw Diggs going at Dak when he came in the end zone, called him out, you guys made it personal to Diggs at Dak when it really was personal. Diggs telling everybody out there, ain't nobody getting in our end zone, and they carried it through last night. Was nobody getting in the end zone. It was really incredible to watch that defense, Skip. It really was. You can say what you will. I mean, last year, we put up 30, 35 points a game, and it was offensive points. Last night, this was a defensive win all the way around. But I did like, Key, what I saw out of the offense. Let me tell you, I started yesterday's show. You know, thank God for letting me start yesterday's show.
Way to go.
I'm going to just let that go right there. Leave that right there. You see what I'm saying? But I started yesterday's show talking about the Dallas Cowboys and explosiveness. Explosiveness, you know, you see the speed they have on the outside. You see the speed they have at running back. We talked about that right here. But let me tell you what I loved on the offensive side. I was upset the first drive they made, Skip, they went down. Usually that first drive you get in the red zone, that's going to tell you what kind of team are you. And then they try some trick play. I was like, what is that? Get that out of here. San Francisco, because I'm measuring it. San Francisco is going to kill that. Yeah. But later on, I saw them, Key, started handing that ball to Tony Pollard. And Tony Pollard, I know, he was slamming into that offensive line. I saw physicality coming in the running game with Tony Pollard being the lead dog at the RB1 spot. I said, that with that defense, dude, say what you will. It's going to be paradise, Vegas, Nevada, where that Super Bowl is. And the Dallas Cowboys will be there. I was prophetically speaking it like the seer in the Bible. I saw it before, and I gave it to you right there. And I told you how it was. It was biblical.
Yeah. Playmaker. One game, man.
Don't start that, man.
Hold on.
Don't start that.
I'm happy for you and Skip.
Don't start that one game stuff.
No, but look, here's what I...
They won their Super Bowl, Key.
Here's what I take from it, fellas. Defensively, we know they dominated the game. Dominated.
Man,
7 sacks, 2 interceptions, 1 6-pack for the. You know, they did their deal on the defensive side of the ball. But let's flip it to the offensive side of the ball where you ended at, Michael.
3 forced fumbles.
They ran the ball very efficient. They did what they needed to do. This is why Kellen Moore is with the Chargers and Mike McCarthy's calling plays.
Right.
Okay? Then when you talk about the quarterback, because that's the conversation, right? We're paying him $150 million to do this. But you got to look at the game plan. And you got to look at his ability. He looked very calm in the pocket, no herky-jerky. Everything was methodical. When he was hitting his back foot, he was letting it go, wasn't pushing the ball deep downfield. Everything was somewhat underneath. Very easy throws for the quarterback. He had pedestrian numbers based on what people think he should have. But remember what I told y'all last week. As long as quarterbacks are 21 or 25, 200 yards, maybe a touchdown, in a dominant defense, you're going to win a lot of games that way. You don't have to throw for 500 yards. And I think people get caught up in that. So Mike McCarthy said, hey, we're going to slow this thing down. My defense is kicking butt. We're up. We don't need to be throwing the ball everywhere. Let's pound it, and when we need to get the 2nd and 3, we might run a screen. When we go to 3rd and 1, we know we can turn around and run the football. When we're 2nd and 1, we can take a shot. That's how you win football games. I just like what they did overall defensively. We can always talk about that. We've seen that. We know what that is. We know they couldn't block number 11. We know that. We know he's probably going to be the defensive player of the year between him and maybe like a T.J. Watt or Nick Bosa. but you can't count them DBs out either on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
So Gilmore played phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Big-time interception, phenomenal. So the Cowboys are on their way. One game, though, Michael. Just one game.
Okay, let's get to our cornerback, Richard. Go.
Sure.
I've been waiting patiently to put this fire out. It was the Giants. It was the Giants. Congratulations, you guys beat the Giants in Daniel Jones's overinflated contract. He should never have gotten it. Obviously, you see what he is and you see what he's been. Congratulations. You guys got a great defensive coordinator, the best defensive coordinator in football right now. And Dan Quinn, he knows how to manipulate the defensive line and move them into spots to have the most success. And he's getting the most out of those defensive linemen to the tune of 7 sacks. Great job. Stephon Gilmore, good friend of mine, played incredibly well on the left side. 3 pass breakups, an interception. He's going to be a great spot for that defense.
Great spot.
But offensively, Skip, 13 for 24, 54% passing in a blowout, Skip, 143 pedestrian yards. A third of those yards came on a 49-yard pass to CeeDee Lamb. I hear what you're saying, Skip. You can run the ball, you can run the ball, you can run the ball. You're not getting to San Francisco and running through that defense. And if you're going to have a 54% completion percentage and think, hey, we're going to complete 13 passes, we're going to beat the San Francisco 49ers, again, they're going to get a repeat of what has happened in years past. So defensively, world class, all world, and as they should be. They're really talented. They're well coached. They execute the scheme better than anyone. A shutout to open the season, you can't ask for better than that. But offensively, you can ask for a lot better than that. That's not Super Bowl caliber. So you got a Super Bowl caliber defense, and the offense is lagging way behind. And in this league, if you lag way behind, you will go home early. So you better hope that Dak and the offense catches up with that defense, or again, divisional, and you know the shit.
Yeah.
I think the offense is fine, Skip.
Hold on. It was a driving rainstorm last
absolutely.
night. Okay, it is hard to hold on to and throw the football, as we saw with the Giants, as we saw with Eagles at Patriots, as we saw in all the other games in the East, including the Joe Burrow game. But I'm just saying, nobody creates as much havoc as this guy does.
A lot of the things that you just showed with Michael Parsons, we call that hidden yardage. That's hidden yardage. When you talk about lining up across from Thomas, that's a sack. Even though it's not a sack, it's a sack.
It just is. It's -5.
He causes that problem because he's so good. Offensively, though, to speak to what you were saying, Richard, you don't have to worry about putting up numbers when your defense is playing that way and you basically are spotting the Giants 28 points or so. You just can't, they're not going to catch up to you. So why throw the ball all over the lot? Just be more efficient with it, and we'll see next week when they play in Jerry's World against the New York Jets without a rainstorm what Dak Prescott and the offense looks like.
I'm not saying you got to throw the ball all over the yard. I'm saying in a blowout where everything's calm, there's no pressure. You have to be efficient. He was erratic with the football. You got to be efficient. Like what you said, he has to be efficient.
He did not turn it over.
He didn't turn it over because he wasn't facing a defense good enough to take the ball from it. But we talked about T.J. Watt. He's going to face Nicholas Bosa and these boys. He's going to face the Jets next week. They're not going to just allow you to throw the ball all over the yard. Hey, it's a calm game. We're relaxed. There's no pressure. They're going to take the ball from him. And then when they take the ball from him, then we'll see what that defense really looks like consistently against pressure. But they were looking great right now.
What you mean we'll see what that defense looks like continue against what we saw?
Against a team.
That was a team. Let's stop this. You guys always come in with these different angles. We have been talking about the 49ers in the NFC. We talk about the 49ers. We talk about Philly. In Dallas. Top 3 teams in the NFC.
Because of their defenses.
At each one of their opponents. If we pulled it out and extrapolated what we saw yesterday, Dallas had the toughest opponent out of the 3.
No. Well, here's what I would say. Going into yesterday's
Dallas
game,
had the best
people thought Pittsburgh was going to be all right. Going into yesterday, they thought Pittsburgh was going to be good. The 49ers took them to the woodshed.
and beat them down.
I would say more impressed. If you talking about just yesterday, I would say the Cowboys defense. I was more impressed with the Cowboys defense than I were with the Eagles, clearly, and San Francisco. I was more impressed with Dallas yesterday.
And it's the whole game that you should be impressed with. Now we're going to zero in on the offense and talk about the offense and what Dak didn't do.
No, not me.
In this kind of victory, when you served the 40 burger on one side and a donut for dessert. I gave you a 40 burger for a main course and a donut for dessert. And you over here saying Dak gave you a 0 in the INTs. There's nothing you guys can do.
He didn't turn the ball over.
Don't try to start pointing in on a bad offense with that kind of victory.
I love it.
But the offense was fine.
We lower the bar. We lower the bar when we talk about the Cowboys offense, because if the San Francisco 49ers had that kind of performance on offense, we'd be sitting up here talking about, hey, the 49ers are a defensive team. They don't have enough on offense to win a Super Bowl. But when it comes to Dallas and the quarterback who's getting $40 million a year is 13 for 24 for 143 paltry yards. We're sitting here saying, oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry about it.
Rich, though, that's fine, man. That's nothing. Look, when you look at the change of game plan with Mike McCarthy, they wasn't trying to push the ball down the field. He simplified things and said, hey, we got a defense. We got bad weather. Let's do smart football. It's smart football. That's all it was.
It took care of the ball. Didn't turn the ball over. It moved the ball.
Richard Sherman, I remind you, the New York Football Giants just a year ago made the playoffs and went to Minnesota and won a playoff game. And I still respect them. And Daniel Jones got paid because he was really good last year. Not great, but he was really good.
Good football player last year.
He was a good football player. He got taken all apart in the rain by Micah and the deepest pass rush in pro football.
The worst thing.
Yes, I'm trying to make that more
Daniel Jones
bad Daniel than it was great Cowboys.
No, great Cowboys, but
not bad. We'll see Daniel.
When you look at the Cowboys defense in Daniel Jones, and I wish I would have thought about this, but we just, in terms of the clips, he was flushed out of pocket to his right, chased by Micah Parsons, scared to death. What's the first thing they teach quarterbacks not to do? Throw the ball back across their body. You throw the ball in the stands. He done threw the ball back across his body, gets it picked. But guess who caused that?
He was being chased.
He was being chased by two dudes, including
I thought they were about to get Parsons a flag on that.
No, but he didn't. They didn't.
You know what I mean?
I thought so.
No, he got him inbounds. He didn't get him out of bounds.
To come through that TV.
No, he didn't. He got him inbounds, not out of bounds. He pushed him pretty hard once he got out of bounds, but the initial contact was in bounds when he did it. I mean, there it is right there. Look at that. You scared, man. You running for your life. You scared. They just throw the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, Daniel Jones is pretty fast, and Mike is faster. That's what happened. And he knew it.
Yeah.
It's not debatable.
Yeah, just throw it in the stand.
But I just don't understand how the bar moves for your offense versus another offense. If we're talking Super Bowl contenders, do not forget about your offense. Complete teams make the Super Bowl. Incomplete teams go home early. You show me a complete team, I'll agree with you.
And the offense has been incredible the last few years, but there are other areas that they have been deficient in, and those deficiencies are no longer evidence. You see what I'm saying? We'll get the offense there, because there are new players he was playing with also. I love seeing Brandon Cooks make plays in the middle of the football field. New plays, they'll get that going. I'm telling you, that was a great win.
Richard Sherman. Big picture, I think you were the first to admit, because you know Stephon Gilmore. I said the day they stole him from Indianapolis for a 5th-round pick, I'm good to go now, because I got a bookend corner who is a textbook corner to Trevon Diggs, who does gamble and clue and take all kinds of chances over on the other side. I thought Trevon Diggs was sensational. He was all over the football field. He blew up Saquon on that one play, which I thought was actually a catch. I thought he caught it and just got blown up, but it was a pick 6 that went the other way.
The big test for him, though, Skip, is next week.
Don't start a projection.
I'm just saying.
A big test is coming.
A big test.
The big test.
The big test is coming for the defensive side of the ball.
Okay,
You have to admit that the Jets, as we see it on paper, is a better offense as it's constructed than the New York Giants. You have to, Michael. So we'll just see what it is.
They have better talent in more important positions.
Yes.
We don't know if they're better. We have to see them in real game situations right now.
You're not gonna let us do this to you.
I'm just saying.
And more important, I'm going to give you this.
I'm just trying to bring you back down to earth.
It's going to be good. That's why I'm happy for tonight. We got another good one tonight.
I am back to earth because Aaron Rodgers has owned us his entire career.
Yes.
Every time I look up, it doesn't matter if it's been on the frozen tundra or at Jerry World.
Yeah.
He owns us. He's like our Dracula. He comes in and just sucks the blood out of us every time he shows up. And it is time to get even. Now we have the firepower to get even. The playing field is level because we don't have a nobody at the other cornerback right now. You can't pick on our opposite side cornerback. You're going to have to come to play in ways you've never had to come to play against the Dallas defense. And the pass rush is so deep, it just comes at you in waves. And it's not just Micah, because it is D-Law, and it is Dorrance Armstrong, and it is Dante Fowler, and I can just go on and on. I can go 8 deep. Oh, Diggy Zoo was all over the football field last night. Aaron Rodgers is going to have a long, late afternoon at Jerry World a week from yesterday. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.